and let the one who has no sword sell his cloak and buy one.
Hey guys, this is Spencer with Defense Training. Again, I'm going to bring you another tool today actually. This is the PowerSmart 2500 watt inverter generator basically. So stay tuned. Hey guys, we make custom Kydex holsters, so make sure to go check our holster store out, and the link will be down in the description below. Thanks. Alright guys, I want to go over this generator. We were in the path of Helene, the hurricane, and our power was restored a couple days ago now, but we were down about 6 days without power. And I had this little generator that I had bought for camping. We were going to do a little more dispersed camping where we wouldn't have hookups and stuff like that, which we've done in the past, but I figured, you know what, we're going to do it in a little colder climate. Instead of running our gas or our propane heater, our little Mr. Buddy heater, we just run the heater off of this because our heater is 1200 watts, you know, just basically knock the chill off enough, keep it at 60 degrees basically, 55, 60, something like that, and have blankets, we'd be fine. But we got, you know, hurricane in. We're in Anderson, South Carolina, and hurricane came, and we've had plenty of hurricanes that come through, you know, the rain that come through this way over the years. But even with like Hugo, Katrina, stuff like that, never as a hurricane came up this far and past us, you know, 2 hours up past us, basically 500 miles north and 300 miles inland on the east. We've never had a hurricane hit the way it hit the mountains. So it knocked our power out, and there's still some people that we know here close by that don't have power now. In fact, I got to go work at a buddy's place tomorrow that doesn't have power, but I want to go over this little generator, and our power went down, so you know, we've got a refrigerator and stuff like that. We didn't want our food to go bad. Now we've got a little mini fridge in the camper that I could have stashed what I could get in there with this generator, and we'd have been fine with what we could hold with that. But this generator, what I did is I got it running, and I want to show you a couple things about it. So it's the 2500 watt pull start. It's not electric start, but it's an easy pull. I'll show you that in a minute. So it's got your they're two 20 amp 120 volt outlets, and then it's got two USB ports. You got a 2.1 and a 1 amp. You also have like a cigarette lighter plug in right here. You got your resets, your ground, and then you can also parallel this thing to another one like this. Instead of 2500, they give you 5000. But the 2500 has a 2500 max, basically starting watts. So if you plug something in, it can ramp up to get it started to 2500 watts, and it has 1900 running watts, which is plenty for a lot of stuff. You got your choke, your on-off switch, and you also have an on-off switch up here on the gas cap too. In fact, it's on right now, so flip it off. So if you do get one of these, make sure you flip this on, because it will run for like a second or two, and then cut off and be like, what in the world's going on? But what we did is we plugged in our refrigerator to begin with. I plugged the refrigerator in because we were like, okay, maybe it won't be down for like a day, so we plugged the refrigerator in like a fan. So we had the fan and stuff going on the 1900. Not a big deal, because our refrigerator pulls, I think, 460 watts is what I've actually tested it at. Running was 460, but now it ramps up. When it first peaks, it peaks a little over 500. So, but this holds 2500 for that peak ramping, right? So not a big deal. And then so we were without, and they actually the next day. So we got up that Friday morning without power. We're like, okay, we'll probably be back up. But they sent us an email out with no declared time. If you ever get an email from an energy company with no declared time, it's probably going to be down for a while. So I was like, okay, so let's see if we can backfeed this in through our plug. So I have a plug, and I know a lot of you say, oh, you can't do that. Well, yeah, you can, but you have to be safe about it. So, you know, you comment what you want, that's fine. But I have outside outlet, And what I did is it's very close to the breaker box. So what I did is I flipped all the breakers off, the main panel, flipped it off. You need to flip all this off because you don't want to backfeed the line. And in fact, with a small generator like this, if you're backfeeding the line, it's not going to power your stuff anyway. So I plugged it in that outlet. I turned everything off in the main breaker except for that breaker to that outlet. It just goes to one outlet, so that breaker to that one outlet. Then I flipped the sub panel on, and then I flipped the kitchen on, basically. What my refrigerator, my microwave, and my little plug-in right there with my coffee makers on it. And then I ran drop cords off the outlet, one of the outlets right there that's on it as well, and I ran fans and all this. And so this generator would run 12 hours on 1.2 gallons of gas. So I was getting over 12 hours because I was changing it every 12 hours, and it wasn't, I had to cut it off, it wasn't dying. So it was running 12 hours on 1.2 gallons of gas at least, running the fridge and 5 fans. So we had a fan in the window pulling air in, and we had a fan in another window pushing air out. And then we had fans going out through the house, so it was just a steady breeze coming through the house. Now of course it's not big enough to power your AC or heater or nothing like that, but it was big enough to power the fans, and it was cool enough where it wasn't that bad. And again, I was getting 12 hours with those powered and the refrigerator, and then coffee in the morning. I would fix me a pot of coffee, and then the microwave. We had to unplug the fridge to run the microwave, but it would run everything else. It would run the fans and the microwave. So I was very impressed with this. So if you're looking for a small little generator to just get you by, now granted, there's a lot of big generators out there. You can get in fact there's one, in fact I'll link this one below as well. There's one out there I've been looking at. It's a 12,000 watt that would push my entire house. However, that 12,000 watt is 6 gallons, and you're going to run that 6 gallons for about 6 hours. This was running 2.5 gallons in 24 hours. So do the math of how much you're going to spend, and gas is hard to get. It was very hard. I didn't have that big of a problem, fortunately, when I went, because the gas truck was literally pulling out as I was pulling in, and I had to wait on one car. But there was other people waiting in line for an hour, 2 hours trying to get gas because they just went at more packed times, I guess. I got in and got out, and then after a couple of days we kind of mellowed out and it wasn't that bad. But if you can't get gas and you're running 6 gallons, you're running a gallon an hour, basically you're running 24 gallons a day, and you can't get gas, that's tough. But this, 1.2 gallons of gas every 12 hours, and to be honest, we were getting more than that. Not that it was running better than that. We weren't filling 2 gallons of gas in 24 hours because I would shut the thing down. We would have the fans blowing at night. I'd have the refrigerator chilling at night. And then when we first got up in the morning, once we got going, I would turn it all off for 2 or 3 hours. I would let it just chill for 2 or 3 hours, and then we would ramp it back up and we would get going again. Once it started warming up a little bit, we get the fridge back up to temp and all that good stuff. So we were probably being able to push 30 hours out of 2.5 gallons. You're not going to do that with a bigger generator, and I can't. I don't think I can express how impressed I am by this generator, because this generator run, I'll say 20 hours a day for 5 days, and it didn't miss a lick. The only time that anything happened is I actually let it run out once. So it did actually run out once. It was a little over 12 hours. I think 12 hours and 20 something minutes. I lost track. So it's a little over 12 hours to 1.2 gallons of gas. So I'm super impressed with this. And of course it's got your ground port here where you ground it. You put your little rod in the ground and all that. I didn't do that. Not a big deal. So it ran fine. And you know, it's got your charging for your phone and stuff like that. You're trying to be in contact with people and stuff like that, and that's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this on. I'm going to pull the choke out, flip the gas to on. Now I'm here. This may be kind of funny. It's up a little higher than normal. one of those quiet models, but it's not in eco mode. So right here sitting, this is the sound you're going to get, and this is what you're going to get when it ramps up. I'm going to put it in eco mode. And it idles down. It's pretty quiet now. Not a big deal. You carry on a conversation with somebody with it like this. And this is how it ran most of the time. It was usually this quiet, even with the fridge and the fans plugged in. It was a hair louder, not much. And then, of course, with the hurricane and all that, we couldn't get out. I had to kind of makeshift the cord to plug in. I didn't have a 14 gauge wire, so I makeshift. I actually inline two 14 gauge wires, which I think that makes a 12 gauge or 11 gauge maybe. Put one to the compressor or the generator, I'm sorry, and it would only plug in this way. It's a 20 amp plug, and then I only had another 15 amp plug, which that's all my breaker was anyway, was 15 amps. Plugged it in because I wanted as short a cord as possible. While running that, I didn't want a big long cord because you lose power and all that stuff, right? So I had to kind of makeshift one of these up. I suggest you make a better one pre-making, but when you just went through a hurricane and don't have power and you can't get supplies, you do what you got to do. And then you just cut it off. It's already low. What I do is I unplug it. I unplug all the stuff, let it idle down where it is now, and then I'll just turn it off. And that's it. It doesn't come with oil, so I did have to put oil in it. It's 1030 four cycle oil, and you can pick that up. I was able to get that at our local auto parts store. They did have power. They were open. And I was actually going to where my wife worked anyway, and they're right beside each other almost. And I saw they were open, so I stopped in and was able to get it, and I was able to get it up and running. But as far as this little thing is concerned, I am super impressed. It's not that expensive. In fact, I got it on sale. I'll put a link down below to where I got this from, or the one where I got it from. It's on Amazon, is where I ordered it from. In fact, I'd ordered it. It was still in the box. I'd been sitting in the box for a couple months because we hadn't planned. We were going to go disperse camping actually this November, which those plans have changed at this point. But so I got it because it was going to be cold where we were going in November. But pulled it out, and I'm telling you, first pull, just like I just did, first pull, when I first filled it up with gas, just make sure you put your oil in it because it doesn't come with oil. Now, of course, it has labels and stickers all over it. You know, you got to pull off that says, hey, stop. Put your oil in, and I've got this here just in case somebody else wants to use it, my wife or whatever, to remind her how to get it going. Maybe I'm off somewhere and the power goes out and she needs to do it, so I've left that, the little tag on it, just a little quick start guide on there. But yeah, so this is the PowerSmart 2500 watt inverter. They make a 2580 now, I believe, but I still think it's like 1950 running watts. But this will get you by with your fridge. It will also, it will run a fridge and a freezer. I did not run my freezer. I didn't have anything that needed to be saved in that freezer. We had just emptied it out here a while back, but it will run both. I actually ran a drop cord to it because I had somebody that said, hey, we got a lot of food, it's about to spoil. And I was like, bring it over, we'll cool down the freezer real quick, and we'll get you in there. But so it will run both. It will ramp up. I don't think you would get 12 hours out of running both. You would probably get maybe 8 or 9, still maybe 10. But yeah, so fridge, 5 fans, running the microwave here and there for a minute at a time basically. Is what we were doing, and then the coffee pot in the morning. I was getting 12 hours on 1.2 gallons of gas. It will get at least that with that running. And those 5 fans are roughly 45 watts a piece, so you can do the math on that. And then the fridge is 460 watts. So you can do that math on that of what it will run. Now this is just to get you by. This isn't to run your whole house again, but this is just to get you by, which it did, and it did amazingly well. I really can't say how much I appreciated this generator. So if you're looking for something for an emergency backup, just something to get you by, to get your fridge up and running, to get some fans running, maybe use the microwave, because you could unplug it and you could run like the toaster or whatever. I ran the coffee pot. In fact, I had to wash dishes because we were getting to the point, so I heated the water in the coffee pot, poured in the sink, and I was able to wash with hot water. So I did that pretty much every day as well, so it would run that as well. But yeah, guys, I just want to go over this. I know I've seen some reviews on them, but I haven't seen actual what they can do reviews or how long they can run. Again, we were down from I believe it was 5 days. So Friday morning we woke up, the power was gone. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, yeah, we were down 5 days because it came back at 6 p.m. Tuesday night. And this ran every single day, at least 20 hours. Didn't miss a lick. Not at all. The only thing that ever happened was when it ran out of gas one time. But I just let it go again. It was like 12 and a half hours, 12 hours, 20 minutes. But it will run what I just said, the 5 fans, 45 watts apiece, and the fridge, and running the microwave here and there, unplugging the fridge, running the microwave, running the coffee pot here and there, not constantly, but here and there, and charging batteries up too. I forgot about that. So I have a rigid battery pack I had in there. I was charging batteries for the flashlights, so we were charging those. It ran that constantly as well, but it did that 20 hours a day at least. Got 12 hours to 1.2 gallons of gas, and it's still running flawlessly. So if you're looking for a decent small generator, whether you want to do it for camping or tailgating or emergency backup, just get your refrigerator back up and running, I highly suggest this PowerSmart 2500 watt inverter. Alright guys, this has been Defense Training. Stay safe, stay armed.
Hey guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you don't mind, and share it if you would. This really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, we offer different styles of training. So we offer concealed weapons classes here in Anderson, South Carolina. Also, we offer advanced training, and we offer church safety team training. So you can go check all that out at defensetraining.org. And then, of course, we make holsters. We have our online holster store, so if you go check that out, and that's holstersbydefensetraining.com. And all these links are below. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.